Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got another kind of a review. Not really. I'm returning to a knife, once again, that I have already reviewed. It's just a variant of it. I want to talk about it because it's just enough different, and it's interesting enough that I've got a lot more to say. This is the Artisan Cutlery Arion in titanium instead of the micarta, right? Which I think is really, really cool, especially considering the price that I've seen out there. I'm going to link the micarta ones down below and this titanium one if I can find it. But I'll also tell you where I saw it, where you can get it, stuff like that. Thanks so much to my generous patrons who are supporting me right now. There's a link for my Patreon right down below. And please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. Thank you to Artisan Cutlery for sending this in. They gave this one to me. So pretty cool. Just full disclosure, that's where I got this thing. But as you guys are well aware now, that has no effect on my reviews, positive or negative. I always say what I think. So quick specs. We won't do the whole intro because, like I said, I've already reviewed this knife. Overall length of the Aryan coming in at 8 1/4. Blade length coming in at 3.6. Cutting edge coming in, 3.4. How about some size comparisons? We'll do a couple. Up against the Ontario Rat Model 1 and the Spyderco Para 3. So, yeah, this is a full-size knife. The Ontario Rat is just a pinch longer. We're at an angle here. That's why they're looking to be about the same. But yeah, this knife also has good ratios. Now, the micarta one was a little bit lighter. This one's in titanium. There is no milling at all on the inside, which is kind of interesting. I wonder why they didn't do that. I don't care, but I know a lot of people will care. Can you see? Nothing going on in there. Hardware check. I'll tell you guys right now, without even using my tools, which you can get, they're in the description. T8, T6, right? And then there's a hidden screw for the pocket clip. But minimal. I don't like T6. I wish it was T8. That really would have driven this thing home for me. But it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. The weight on this guy, I don't know, 4.5 ounces? Okay, yeah, 4.5 ounces. So ratios, people, not going to be super impressed. For everybody else who doesn't care, including myself, it's a 4.5 ounce object, right? That's full titanium, so that's fine. They probably could have knocked it down to 4 ounces if they had milled it out, but they didn't, so whatever. The balance on this knife is a little closer to the butt end than you might expect, and that's probably because they didn't mill it out. Normally it should be about right here, but it's about right... Can I get it to... It's either wanting to tilt forward or backwards. It's about right here, so that's where it is. Not that big of a deal. But you'll notice it, right? And if you notice it and you don't like it, well, they have the micarta ones where I would imagine the balance is probably a little bit better. I'm a titanium person. I'm also somebody who likes a monochromatic look. This is running on bearings. It is S35VN and 6L4V titanium. Artisan Cutlery knives are not made in the United States. They are made in China, so I'll let you guys do with that information what you will. These are designed by Cerberus Knives, which I honestly had not experienced up to this point, but I did very much love the profile of this. I like straight lines, right? I love all that. And I thought, well, the red micarta is not my favorite thing in the whole world, but I like it enough to really want to take a look at it. So I did, and spoiler alert, that video ended with a positive review. Something that really makes me happy about this guy is, I wonder if we can see it. Can you see it? Oh yes, that's micro milling on the titanium. You can't see it until, I honestly forgot. They had said something about that. And then I got it and I was like, oh, cool. And then I got to looking at it, I was like, oh my gosh, there's little diagonal milling lines. That's just really neat. I love that. They don't need to do that, and truthfully, it's not enough to add any meaningful grip. You can feel it. You can also kind of hear it, right? But it's just nice, and it's on both sides. Can we get it to pick up on this side? Yeah, there you go. You can see that there. Really nice. Steel lock bar insert doubling as the over travel stop. Easy disengagement. No lock stick whatsoever. No double clutch. Nice spot in that sharpening choil to catch your where your finger is. That's where it lands right there. Very smooth. Very here. Nice. Nice and controlled, consistent. No blade play up, down, left, or right. Centering. Yeah, I've had to adjust it a couple of times. I just need to put Loctite in it, right? But no big deal. It'll come centered. And if it's, if it needs a little bit of a turn, which I think it might actually need right now, so we'll go ahead and do it. Then you just turn it. Get some blue, some 242 Loctite. Just give it a turn. I always like to see things come centered from the factory just so I know. Like, that might actually have been too much. Just so I know it's like, number one, you care, and number two, your tolerances will obviously allow for it. But can I do it myself? Most of the time, yes. So, it's a bother when it... This one came centered. I'm just saying, if yours doesn't, don't freak out, right? But I get it why you would want to. We have kind of a bead-blasted blade. I can't remember if that's how it was on the original. That's all right. I always prefer tumbled, but it looks good. It's fine. Corners all nicely knocked down. Incredibly easy to do the reverse flick with this guy because of that slot. It's one of the big reasons I was so into the design. You can thumb it out that way if you want. You can pinch open it, right? Slow open it. But this is just nice for doing that reverse flick. And I just love it. I love the look of the blade, how it functions. You definitely have a tip that's going to excel at puncturing. And it does taper down to a nice thin edge. There's a flat that carries out, 70% the length of the blade. And the blade stock is reasonably... Let's find out what the blade stock is. Just so you guys know. Calipers. There they are. Blade stock thickness on the titanium Aryan, which I'm guessing is going to be the same as the other ones, is about 120 thousandths. So it's definitely not a thick blade stock. The titanium is also not thick. When compared to the Spyderco Para 3, you can see it's actually thinner. The whole profile, this is something we normally do at the beginning, and I didn't, so we'll do it right now, is roughly the same, if not slightly shorter than the PM2, a little longer than the Para 3, but it's not an ultra tall design, right? All the corners and everything are nicely knocked down, and because of the shape of the handle, you have an enormous amount of ergonomic freedom. The pocket clip, while it is boring, it's definitely not a hotspot. I do not like how they curve this up and then over. Just do an upward swoop so that it doesn't fight your pocket clip, right? Like this. The continuous rounded upward swoop. This is like a concave swoop. I don't know why. That's just like a snaggletooth, like wanting to fight whatever pocket of it. That's a tiny thing. It does work just fine. It's just, I don't understand. That's backwards to me. These are contoured scales, and despite them being textured, the pocket clip does allow for it to glide easily in and out of the pocket, and it does carry really deep. The pocket clip kind of cuts off right there, the material for it, so it's going to carry like that, and that's fine. This is nice. This is straightforward. I think this is a really, really underrated design right now. And here's the cool thing, guys. The original coral micarta, or the whatever the other color is, those are S35VN and titanium. And S35VN is definitely a steel that we're starting to see at a lower price point, but is it still okay in this territory? Yeah, I'd kind of like to see it more down towards the the $150 mark, but here at $200, it's all right, right? It's all right. I don't really like to see it higher than that. On Artisan Cutlery's website, these are coming in at $266, but I did see a listing at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, meaning they actually did have these at retailers at one point, or at least a few, for $200, which I think is absolutely fair for a wonderful design. This is awesome. People who want to carry a nice, slim, full-size EDC knife, but they like titanium, they appreciate those little details, right? Want good cutting geometry. This is great. That weird lip on the pocket clip kind of bothers me. I'll tell you something else that kind of bugs me is that they put Artisan Cutlery here on the backspacer. I know, you guys put your logo up here. I don't need it down here. But they did, so whatever, right? T6 screws. It's not milled, right? But, geez, the rest of this is really good. This is an underrated knife right now. And the fact that they did it in full titanium just makes me really... I love this. I think this is awesome. Not everybody's going to like it, but it checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people, and for whatever reason, people are kind of overlooking it. So, let me bring it to your attention, if you didn't know. And for people who did know about it, let me bring it to your attention again. I think this is really good. I think this is the best knife that Artisan Cutlery has in their line. I think I said that when I reviewed the coral one. This titanium one I really like, right? It's going to be a preference thing. I'm not going to say the titanium one is better than the micarta, but they're the same price. If you're more interested in overall weight and balance, then go with the micarta, especially if you like micarta, right? If you're more interested, if you don't care so much about balance and you just like that feeling of solidity and you like full titanium and maybe you like monochromatic looking knives like me, and go for this one. $200 is a fair price though, especially considering we're seeing some machining elements that are present in some knives made by some other Chinese OEMs that are close to double the price. There's a lot of stuff that I'm seeing from, these companies that are $350, and it's like, it's nice, but it's not. I mean, what Artisan Cutlery is doing here in the Aryan is very, very similar, right? The detent's good. Fit and finish all the way around is just excellent. It's really nice. It's a good knife, guys. I think that's going to be pretty much it today. Thank you so much to Artisan Cutlery for sending this in. I did ask for it, by the way. I did reach out and say, that looks really cool. Can I get a review sample? And they said, no problem. Anyways, please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.